This time?
Got it.
6 feet, 7 feet, 11 feet wide. Hanukkah 2008.
We went into the bathroom. No one cares about it. So got way up high and you got to take Scott in this show. So we finally started to take.
Ray, take off your hat.
No, you don't
No.
take off his hat.
Turn over the script and start reading.
Welcome everyone. This is the first and only time this family will ever attempt to put on a play.
Thank God.
I've been selected as a temporary master of ceremonies. The actual true master of ceremonies should have been Ethan. Does anyone know why it should have been Ethan?
Because he can read out loud.
If you know the answer. Obviously, the combined wisdom of my cousins and sister would fit into a film. So now, grandparents, parents, and others, do you know why Ethan is the proper master of ceremonies? Grandparents?
He's in Israel. He's not here.
Why is he the proper?
Correct answer is that Ethan is the middle grandchild. He's the fifth born out of 9. And the middle child almost always has the most outgoing personality.
Do you know why Grandma and Grandpa have 9 grandchildren?
Well, my mother once said she must have been crazy to have so many children.
Sorry, Ben, that's not the correct answer.
Yeah.
The correct answer is that Grandma and Grandpa have 9 grandchildren because that's the number of candles on the Hanukkah menorah.
That's a stupid reason. That stupid reason sounds like Grandpa's logic.
Do I have to say that? Enough of your negative comments. Let me now explain why our grandparents have 9 grandchildren.
No, Jake, don't. I'm 16 years old, and as everyone knows, teenagers, particularly when they're 16, know everything.
Amen. Amen.
Before I'm rudely interrupted again, let me ask my cousins and my sister a question. But first, let me provide the needed background. We all know we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days because the Maccabees found a small amount of uncontaminated oil to light the eternal flame. It was only enough oil to keep the flame lit for 1 day, but the flame stayed lit for 8 days, long enough to purify additional oil. Therefore, we celebrate the miracle that the small amount of oil actually lasted 7 extra days. So my question is...
Lindsay, stop asking questions. Let's get to where we start. Oh. Wait.
Come on, guys.
So my question is the true miracle of Hanukkah that 1 day's oil stayed lit for 7 extra days? So should we celebrate the Hanukkah miracle for 7 days, not 8?
Lindsay, stop asking questions. Let's get to where we start getting our presents.
Brett, don't be so impatient. I already have seen the conditions you were in on your picture on Facebook.
It's a little blow, Lindsay.
Now that nobody answered the question, I'm not going to bother telling you why we celebrate for 8 days. I'll leave it up to you all to search Google.
Lindsay, I think you've been master of ceremonies long enough. Let me take over. Let me tell you a story I heard about one of my cousins. I'm going to leave out this cousin's name because I don't want to embarrass her. And I won't mention that she's a tall, thin blonde because she should really remain anonymous.
A story about me.
I heard on good authority that you have a certain mental block. And what is that mental block? Well, it's somehow related to the word tickets.
Allison, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Let me just give you 2 examples. Each year in Charlottesville, Virginia, they hold a famous point-to-point horse race called the Foxfield Party.
What's the Foxfield Party?
Foxfield Party is a major social event where large groups of people set up tents and have great tailgating parties. It's perhaps the most important social event for the entire year in Charlottesville. Well, this nameless tall blonde cousin arranged for many of her friends to join her for the party and bought tickets for 20 of them. On the day of the party, she drove all the way down from where she lived in Alexandria to Charlottesville to meet the 20 friends, to distribute the tickets and go to the party. But alas, when she arrived in Charlottesville, she realized that her mental block had once again reared its ugly head. She discovered that she had forgotten to take the 20 tickets, which were still in Alexandria, 3 to 4 hours away. Fortunately, she is smart. She called a locksmith and bribed him to break into her apartment and had her friend Craig pick up the tickets. The friend finally drove back to Charlottesville, and they did manage to get into the party, and I'm told they had a wonderful time.
But that just happened once. It doesn't mean I have a mental block about tickets.
Maybe not, but what about the time you left home, you left the tickets for the University of Virginia's football game at home?
Thank you, Allison. When it's my turn, I will tell them a terrible story about you.
Grandpa asked before we start this play to make sure everybody stands in line alphabetically by their last name.
Wait a minute. All of our last names are Rosenthal. Papa's just being Papa. Papa, you're weird.
Since we're telling stories about each other, I have a story about my cousin Brett. Everyone knows that we Rosenthals are magnificent drivers. We all have our driver's license or are about to get our licenses. Moreover, each of us is extremely cautious and extremely careful. Not one of us is an idiot. Well, maybe I overstated.
He's just so cute about his paws. What do you think?
There was a time when Brett was packing up his father's company van to move to the dorm at the University of Maryland. The van was parked in the driveway of his house, and after the van was full to the brim, Brett's mother asked Todd to move the other cars so Brett would not back into them and damage his cars. Uncle Todd's response was, "Brett's not an idiot." Brett's response to his mother was, "I'm certainly not an idiot. There is no need to move the cars." Obviously, 15 minutes later, when Brett was backing up his car, he smashed into the van with hundreds of dollars of damage both to his car and the van.
That's not fair. I think the only people who